Viewers, tomorrow at 6:30 p.m., Times Now VMR will project the result that India has been waiting for. The result that is going to perhaps set the tone for result day, which will be on the 23rd of May. But at 19th, which is tomorrow, at the end of the last phase, Jai Mrug will put his neck on the line and tell you the results that he thinks are the most plausible. Of course, those results will be contested by the main protagonists in this drama, the BJP and the Congress. That's how it always pans out. But Times Now has been devastatingly accurate all the way up till now, barring a couple of predictions. And in a complex, multivariated democracy such as ours, it's easy to misread the signals. But in an election defined by binaries, it will perhaps be less fraught a challenge this time. At least that's what we are hoping. Already, of course, the benchmarks are being set, not by Times Now VMR and Jai Mrug, but of course by the contending parties. The Prime Minister sitting alongside Amit Shah yesterday in the final press conference briefing, what have you, of these elections, of campaigning, came out and predicted a wave. Amit Shah put a number, said the BJP and NDA will cross 300. Listen to this.
पूर्ण बहुमत वाली सरकार 5 साल पूरे करके दोबारा जीत करके आए, ये शायद देश में बहुत लंबे अरसे के बाद हो रहा है, बहुत लंबे अरसे के बाद हो रहा है। ये अपने आप में बड़ी बात है। दशकों बाद लगातार दूसरी बार पूर्ण बहुमत की सरकार बनाने वाले हैं। 3-4 दिन से तो मैं सुन रहा हूं, अब की बार 300 पार, अब की बार फिर एक बार বাংলা এবার ডলেছে। বিজেপি বলেছে। पूरे देश ने बीजेपी को पूर्ण बहुमत देने के लिए वोट किया है, तो पश्चिम बंगाल बीजेपी को 300 के पार पहुंचाने के लिए वोट दे रहा है।
You heard the Prime Minister. He said a number. Amit Shah says that they're in the battle for securing 50% vote share. Huge, huge claim. Rahul Gandhi, no less underconfident. In fact, a very relaxed Rahul Gandhi in his own press conference, the final one of campaign season, came out and said, I promise you a historic comeback. Listen to this.
ये जनता के ऊपर है। मुझे लगता है कि हम चुनाव बहुत बढ़िया लड़े, कांग्रेस पार्टी, सिर्फ मैं नहीं, और जो ऑपोजिशन का रोल हमें प्ले करना था। 2014 में लोकसभा में हमारे नंबर्स बड़े नहीं थे, मगर मैं बहुत खुशी से कहता हूं, गर्व से कहता हूं कि कांग्रेस पार्टी ने ऑपोजिशन का रोल ए ग्रेड प्ले किया है। हमने नरेंद्र मोदी को घेर दिया। नरेंद्र मोदी जो थे 2014 में, जो नरेंद्र मोदी का जो आइडिया था, उसको कांग्रेस पार्टी ने डिसमेंटल कर दिया, खत्म कर दिया।
If the Congress has to dismantle the very ideas that Modi represents, and if the Congress party is suggesting that it, along with the opposition, is in a position to stall the NDA's return to power, then the Congress will believe that it is getting more than 100 seats, more than double it won in 2014. Now, viewers, this is not an exit poll prediction, but it is a reality check. We are going to project on the screens behind us the weight of history, quite literally the weight of history, because the history informs not just the present, but also the future. And we are going to break down certain key equations which will tell you that the odds can overshadow the optimism. That perhaps the claims by the Congress to getting 100+ seats are an overemphasis of what is actually transpiring on the ground. And the Prime Minister Modi's 300+ projection, his belief, his prediction, also might be an over-exaggeration. Jay and I are going to now go across to the big numbers projection center, and we're going to show you some important equations which you bear in mind. And it will tell you just how challenging it is to actually come out and exude the kind of confidence that both those leaders did. And how perhaps far they could fall short of their own estimations. Let's go across. Let's go straight and let's check out these numbers. I want to begin with the first claim. Can the Congress stop Narendra Modi's juggernaut? And here it is, viewers, slightly complicated, but easy to understand when I take you through this. What are you saying? You are going to see a scenario in which the vote share that the Congress has won after 2014 in the 15 states it has contested, up to 24.7%. It had dropped, viewers, in 2014 to 19.3, and it got them 44 seats. If the Congress retains the vote share that propelled it to some amount of victory in the Hindi heartland, it could end up with 97. How does this work?
Rahul, this is precisely the figure. If you look at the Congress's overall national vote share, 28%, 26%, what this roughly means is, if the Modi premium were not to be there and a sort of a semblance of a national average is restored, about a 5%
So
gain.
you're saying that the Modi wave,
Yeah, this is roughly the
not,
Modi premium. This 53 seats is roughly the Modi premium. See, even 97 is not a great number. It's an anti-incumbency result.
But it's closest to what Rahul Gandhi is hoping to get, breaching that 100 mark. Remember, in 2004, 117, 19 seats propelled the Congress really to form the government.
See, so 145 was a new benchmark.
Yes.
The Congress got 145.
Yes.
It said we will stake claim to power.
Yes.
Yeah. What has happened now is, after the fragmentation of the Congress, the growth of the Trinamool, the complete fragmentation, 100 is now a new stabilization base for the Congress.
114, anything more than the 100 can put the Congress into contention, and the story could change, viewers.
Absolutely.
So when Rahul Gandhi is sort of projecting 100 plus, he has to obviously be batting to the average that we have seen in the last 2 years, 2.5 years. Because
from
the
2017.
Yes, so it has actually won a number of seats. If you really look at the entire equation of the total number of assembly seats that the Congress has won, viewers, it is certainly not heading towards extermination. Once Mr. Modi and Amit Shah had suggested that we were working towards a Congress Mukt Bharat, that is not quite happening. So this 24.7%, if it can hold on to that, you might have 97. Let's go to another scenario. Let's look at the strike rate prediction. This gets a little more complicated, but easy to understand. Let me explain this to you. The average Lok Sabha vote share of the Congress since 1996, right up till 2014, has been 26%. It's the same amount of percentage that they have got back to in the assembly elections. If you do that, from 1996, all the seats that the Congress has won up to 2014, you take an average, it comes to 131. It's very interesting. For every 1% vote share the Congress gains, it picks up 5 seats. So if it has to go from 19 back to 26, that's a jump of about 6%, 7%. And that means it adds 35 to its previous total. So this is how things work. Let's now break it down into scenarios. Let's get into the numbers. Let's have a look. This is all historic data, viewers. This is not your view that we are bringing out. That will come out tomorrow at 6:30. But this is the weight of history, as I was saying. Average vote share since 1996 is 26%. Vote share in 2014 dropped to 19.3. The difference is 6.3%. If it picks up this, if it comes back to this, it'll get 78 seats, as I was telling you.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Is this credible? Is this possible? Do you think it can happen?
See, this is completely possible, especially in states where the Congress is having a one-to-one fight with the BJP, the western states, and where it has created an alliance, Bihar and Tamil Nadu. This conversion of into 5 may even be into 6. It's going to have a strong case to do that.
Okay, so that number could also
84,
go up.
85, it can go on.
Let's have a look at the next graphic. Very simply, scenario 2B. Now let's have a look at this. As I told you, the assembly vote share since 2014 till date, all the assembly elections that have been fought by the Congress after Prime Minister Modi came to power, its vote share was 24.7%. About 1.5% less than its 1996 long average. The vote share has been 19.3% in 2014. The difference between these two numbers is 5.4. Remember what I told you? For every 1% gain in Congress vote share, it picks up 5 seats. You do the maths. That's the number. 44 plus 5.4 into 5, roughly about
21, 26.
No,
26, 27.
So 44 plus 26 is 71. So the Congress can at best hope for 71 if you just look at the vote share during the assembly elections and the historic difference in its vote share between 2014 and now. So it could get a best of 71. That's what a lot, incidentally, opinion polls were projecting, viewers. Let's move on to the next scenario. This is very interesting. Here are the margins of victory. Also, you look at this vote share recovery. Assembly average was 2014. Seats lost in 2014 with less than 5% vote margin was 34. The total is 44 plus 34, 78. What does this tell us? Very quickly break it down.
See, it tells us very simple. If the Modi wave were to recede, then where there are one-to-one contests between the BJP and the Congress is within a striking distance, that is with a 3% swing, 3 twice are 6. If with a 3% swing it can take, then it's a very possible scenario.
So the Congress to get up to 78 just needs a 3% swing
in those one-to-one contests.
In its own favor. In the seats where it is in a direct contest with the BJP. Maybe that's why Rahul Gandhi is exuding a little bit of confidence. He believes that he can make that 3%. Let's go to the next one. Let's go next at the next one. Now look at this, viewers. This is the winning margin, less than 10% in 2014. So the seats that it lost by less than 10% was 30. The seats where it won by more than 10% was 14. So a large number of these seats for the Congress were won by less than 10% margins. Now, the losing margins. Here is the big story for the Congress party. Less than 10%, it lost 71 seats. But look at that number. It was really thrashed by the BJP and the other opposition parties. It clearly shows that it lost 340 seats by more than a 10% margin. It was not even in the running, not even in the context. Now, if you change all of this and you look at the numbers, you put a 4 or 5% margin. Let's move on very quickly. You will see, viewers, that this number will begin to make some sense. Let's go. Here it is. The vote share recovery, Lok Sabha average 2014, as I told you, viewers, 19.3 was in 2014. If you look at this number, 26%.
This is the ask. This is the ask. That if you have to recover to your old base.
You want to get back to the old position of strength or relative strength, you need 26%. The difference is 6.7. And remember, the seats it lost
with less than 6.7% margin were 51. You add them up, you get 95 seats. What this is telling you is that even if it's to recover its old base, its footprint has shrunk. When we saw the previous slide, that many places it was third, fourth, 340 seats, less, more than 10% margin. The shrunk footprint is now constraining them at 95.
So 95 is an upward number. 100 is looking tough. Another quick scenario. Let's have a quick look at another scenario. Here we are building on this. This is what many people say is more likely. Explain this to us, Jay.
Now, if you start with the peak of 95, and you're looking at seats won in 2014 with a less than 5% margin, 28. Therefore, what will actually happen is, if those seats were to not come, okay, then the next best possibility for the Congress is 67.
So there are two numbers, 95, 67. We predict that the Congress on historical data will not go below this number, 67. So it's going to pick up from 44 to 67.
Absolutely.
And it may not cross the 95 number.
That could
That
be
is
arranged.
what
Roughly
historical
arranged.
data seems to say. Your verdict, viewers, will be revealed
Yeah.
through our exit poll.
Yeah. I must congratulate Rahul for this idea. This is the smartest psephological deduction done so far. But without going to a poll, without
my
going
colleague
to a poll,
Amar has crunched the numbers
Beautiful
for about,
numbers. Yeah.
I'll have to tell you, for about 3 days.
Yeah.
He really sat up night
Yeah.
after night,
Yeah.
poring over a lot of data. I want to come out to you, Sadanand. I want to ask you simply this. Do you believe this is somewhat credible, just looking at the weight of history?
Yes and no. I don't, my own gut sense tells me that your final predictions may well prove out to be correct, but I think there's certain sort of pretty large oversimplifications which actually don't work in history. I'll give you one very simple example. You say that a 1% vote share leads to about 5 seats for Congress.
Yes.
Between 2009 and 2014, Congress lost only about 10% of its vote share. It lost more than 150 seats. Going by your thing, it should have lost 50 seats, but it in fact went from 200 and
just
let me finish.
Yeah.
So it went from 206 down to 44.
Yeah.
So the relationship between vote share and seat share, particularly in the first past the post system,
is tricky.
depends, as we all know, on where those votes are coming.
Yeah.
So if those votes are coming in places where you're viable, you get a bigger boost.
Yeah.
If the votes are coming in places where you end up not winning it. So I don't think we can simplify to this extent.
Okay,
I
we
will
can't
say, on your point of a footprint, it's correct. It's very difficult for Congress for various reasons to kind of cross beyond 1.5, 110. It'll be very, very difficult for them. So I think your sort of final conclusion may well end up being the ballpark.
No, not only that,
Okay.
even that 5%,
So on
if
the
you
point
just
that he
sort the
was making-
seats like a spectrum, descending order of strength of the Congress, that 5% traps the most probable seats of the Congress.
Yeah, all I'm
and
saying is
therefore, it is a likely number.
At 28.5, they had 206 seats, Jay.
Yeah, absolutely. That is when the
Let's not
footprint of the
forget
party
that.
was much larger.
Sure. That's my simple
the
point.
The footprint this time is a
Mr.
2014.
Dr. Achari, what do you make of this?
See, number one, whether Congress will cross 3-digit figure, 100. Your calculations show no. The maximum you are giving is 95, and at one stage you are giving 78. See, what is happening is you are giving 3% excess to Congress and projecting 78, but that 3% from where it will come? That is the biggest question. In Madhya Pradesh, the difference according to the assembly poll was 0.1%, and in Rajasthan it was just 0.5%. And you take down to Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, they are not going to make any much difference. What they got in 2014, they are going to underperform when you compare that down the line 5 years back.
Okay.
So
you
Congress
believe-
is not going to perform to get the excess 3% vote share.
Remember
so that is
also,
the biggest
there is
question
another
mark here.
larger caveat. That number could well go down. And I'm risking my neck here by saying this simply because the BJP is going to say that the assembly election results don't go by them. That's an artificial inflation in the Congress vote share because Modi was not a factor. Local issues were factors.
Yes,
when we go
exactly.
into the Lok Sabha elections, Modi becomes the factor and votes will coalesce around the BJP. So on the point of oversimplification, well, it can cut both ways. I want to bring in Sanjeev Srivastava. Sanjeev Srivastava, we've sort of shown history. We have not predicted anything. We haven't gone to any voter. This is not an exit poll. So I don't know the mood. Only Jay knows the mood and he's been crunching the numbers. But I just wanted to ask you, oscillating using historical data, trying to extrapolate from that historical data, playing with some numbers, would you say that 75 to 95 or 74 to 95 is whereabouts you see the Congress, or do you think that's going to sort of be thrown to the winds?
Rahul, your number was, if I remember right, if I have been listening very attentively, was 67 to 95.
Yes.
So, like Sadanand said, these numbers of projecting vote share.
No,
in
well, one second.
different
Let me just
years,
correct
different
you. I don't
elections.
mean to
It can
interrupt,
mean
but just
different
because
things.
it's important to get the right numbers on board. If the Congress picks up a 6.3% vote share swing in its favor, the number could go up to about 78. Now, why did we come up with 6.3%? Because that is its average Lok Sabha vote share right up till 2014. So from 1996 to 2014, that's how much vote share. Yeah, the Congress was getting about 26%. It ended up with about 19.3. The difference is about 6 point something, 6.3. So if it comes back to 6.3, then it will pick up those many more seats and the grand total will be 78. If it, however, over exceeds its own estimations and purely goes back to its assembly vote share, over the last 5 years, it will get a maximum of 97 seats. So that was the number, 78 to about 97.
True. Yeah. So my point is that if actually Congress goes back to its assembly vote share, in Rajasthan, MP, Chhattisgarh, etc., then it will definitely cross the 100 mark, and then the possibility of a BJP government becomes dim, becomes quite remote. But my assessment of travelling on the ground in some of these states is that the Congress is, like you also mentioned, Rahul, just now, in these states where the Congress did well in December, Congress is nowhere touching its assembly performance.
Okay.
Because of, see, even a person like Ashok Gehlot, who is very popular, the feeling on the ground is that there was anti-incumbency against Vasundhara, and the people have rewarded Ashok Gehlot and they have elected him the Chief Minister. Now they are voting for Prime Minister. So they have no love lost for Congress and they want to bring back Modi. So my assessment, for whatever it is worth, is that the Congress will be quite reasonably short of a 3-digit mark.
Okay,
now,
reasonably short. Dr. Sumansi Raman.
85 or 90, yes. So,
yeah. Rahul,
yes.
I want to point out two things. First, the flaw in this entire vote share versus seat conversion argument is that vote share is valid only up to a point. Beyond that, there are other factors which come into play. I'll give you a couple of examples. One is how many contestants are there, serious contestants, and how the vote is split. So classic example being Kerala, where the Congress did okay last time, but this time will pick up 3-4 more seats because the BJP is taking away a chunk of the left vote, which tends to be the Hindu vote. Then Congress may even sort of retain the same vote share at last time, but get more seats. So another example would be in Karnataka, where there's an alliance when there was no alliance last time. So its vote share may remain the same, or whatever happens, if it doesn't corrode much, it still manages to pick up seats. Very crucially, this issue of Congress's vote share becomes relevant only in those 4 or 5 states where it is a straight fight. Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, where it's a straight fight with the BJP. Even in a state like Maharashtra,
those are the low-hanging
how
fruits
well
which have
the
gone into the
NCP
computation.
performs or how badly the Shiva Sena performs may impact on the number of seats that the Congress gets, which is something totally unrelated to the vote share of the Congress
Look,
itself.
as I said, this
If
is
the
not an
Sena does
exit
badly,
poll. I haven't
Congress wins more
actually
seats.
gone out
If the
there
NCP
and
does well,
spoken to
I'll
any of the voters. So this is not an exit poll. This is just using historical data and computing scenarios. That's
absolutely.
all. It's
And
a
what it has
completely
done is
studio-based
vote share is relevant only up to a
psephological
point.
exercise projection. It's got nothing to do with any exit opinion poll or anything like that. Yes.
And what it has done is, even if you take the case of Shiv Sena, it has taken the existing blocks of NDA, UPA, taken their 2014 vote shares, graded the seats and looked at the lowest hanging fruits for the Congress. That is all this exercise has done.
And even taking that into consideration, we're not seeing a three-digit number. All the caveats, of course, apply. Some of them have been spelled out by Sadanand and Dr. Raman. I want to bring in Shehzad. Shehzad, the Congress party will only come into some amount of contention in the larger game if it crosses the 3-digit mark. Now, if it doesn't, then there's a problem here. Then there's a problem because it only increases the odds for the BJP to get closer or the NDA to get closer to that majority mark.
does. There is a big problem for
I
the BJP.
completely agree with your assessment. First of all, Rahul, this exercise is a very novel and unique exercise based, of course, on historical data, not on actual assessment of the voter mood in the present terms. But it is still a very intellectually driven exercise, which I think should have been done. But Rahul, the difference between then and now is only this, that there was a different TINA factor operating then. Congress used to be, there is no alternative. And today the TINA factor operating is, this is not an alternative. So from there is no alternative Congress party to this is not an alternative Congress party, that present situation Congress party can never reach the vote bank of the historical vote bank of 96 onwards Congress party, because the circumstances of the people of India have changed and the way they look at Congress
some
party
people
has
say
changed.
they've changed
From
for the
there is
worse
no
under the last
alternative
5
to
years,
this
so
is no
therefore
alternative. In
this
fact,
is an
the
alternative
Congress
could
will lose
apply.
vote.
Look, we can't summarily dismiss what happened in the Hindi heartland states, as well as, of course, the run-up to that. The year before, Gujarat, not really the most emphatic victory for the BJP. Karnataka, they were supposed to win. I remember a projection of 145 by Amit Shah himself on this channel. Nowhere near that. They're still struggling in the opposition to find a reason. Okay.
But see, the fact is that actually the 2018 elections, in a way, herald some good news for the BJP, because in the past when the BJP has lost those states, it's been with some decent margins, 3%, 4% of the vote.
So this time they're saying that it was
fact
wafer
that it was
thin.
so close.
I know, I've heard that. Madhya Pradesh, the vote share was actually greater than the Congress, and the number of votes that separated the two were almost statistically insane. We'll take a short break. We look at the BJP's prospects. Their 300 plus claim. Will it be borne out? We're coming back. Don't go away. Viewers, thank you for watching us. Just before the break, using historical data, not exit poll, not opinion poll, nothing to do with the voter, nothing to do with your opinion, we had contended that the Congress will oscillate between 75, 76, all the way up to about 97, 98 seats. It will not go into the three-digit number. That's what historical data seems to suggest. The BJP, on the other hand, says that it is going to come back with a historic mandate. The Prime Minister used the word pro-incumbency wave that he is detecting, putting it 300 par, he says. Is bar 300 par. Amit Shah has put an unrealistically high number on that, saying that we are in the game for 50% vote share. Never happened in the history of this country, barring one election, I think.
Congress in 1984 went close to 42.
42. Yeah. So 50% is really like hitting the ball straight out of the park. He'd have to play a bit like Chris Gayle. But is it even possible? Could it actually happen? What does probability tell us? What do the historic numbers that we're going to project for you right now for the BJP tell us? Can Modi's BJP even cross to 72? That's the first question that we are looking at. Now here, viewers, is a very straightforward statistical analysis. This is the assembly vote projection. Now, you know that the BJP got 282 in 2014. That was the number which has seen Mr. Modi break out of coalition era and become a prime minister on his own steam, the BJP steam. Now, as we go down over the last 5 years, in some states the BJP has won, but its victory has not been that emphatic. For example, December 14 post Maharashtra, Haryana polls, if you were to look at the performance of the party and if you were to project that onto a Lok Sabha map, that tally would already fall by 2. This was, I'm saying, right there in December 15. This is post Bihar Delhi polls.
You can
this
see
number?
Yes,
that number.
Yeah,
and then you go down to December 15 post Bihar Delhi polls. That number comes down more.
Yeah.
In fact, from 82 to 56.
Yeah. So this is 2015, the year of setbacks.
Yes.
Delhi and Bihar both.
Yes.
So the new vote share is factored and it's 256.
That's right. It's 256. Yeah. Then we come to
after the West Bengal, Kerala, Tamil Nadu elections, marginal drop in vote share in Bengal from 17 to 10%, 250.
250. So already midway, almost midway into its tenure, the BJP, if you were to look at its assembly
250
performances and projected on a Lok Sabha parliamentary map, from 282 it's down to 250.
Now you take in the Punjab setback, This is the UP 2017, March 2017 elections.
Yeah.
Punjab was a setback, so other 5 seats go down to 45.
Another 5 seats.
Yes.
Then
And-
you come to
And now you look at the end of their Gujarat setback.
Right.
Yeah. So about 8
So
Lok
Gujarat
Sabha
and
seats
Himachal
lost.
polls.
Himachal.
Yeah.
And about 8 lost in Gujarat. The 18 to 26 number comes down to 237.
So now look, here is where the BJP was
Yeah.
in 2014
Yeah.
when it assumed power.
Yeah.
And if you were just to look at its assembly performances, that number would shrink to 237,
Yeah.
which is about 40 short of the halfway
45
mark.
short of
roughly,
the half
yeah.
number. Yeah. Yeah.
Now you look at what happens. Last.
Now, this is the December 2018 polls, the biggest setback being Chhattisgarh,
Yeah.
and of course followed by Rajasthan, and the least being Madhya Pradesh. That number would collapse to 200.
200, which is what a large number of psephologists seem to be suggesting could happen. Now let's actually have a look at some other numbers that can inform this discussion. Let's go to the strike rate prediction. The average Lok Sabha vote share of the BJP since 1996 up to 2014. If it falls back to that,
Yeah.
then you have a situation where if you look at that, 1% gain gets them 7 seats.
7 seats. Absolutely.
So for every 1% gain,
Yeah.
average Lok Sabha seat share since 1996,
Yeah.
if you were to look at that number alone, it's 177.
Absolutely.
If that were to happen.
And-
Let's go further.
And this
up.
number is a little higher than the Congress for the BJP because in that era, it was the beneficiary of the first past the post system. So this number is a little higher than the Congress.
Okay,
The difference
so that
is
was 5%.
Yeah, this
for
is
5
7.
seats for the Congress.
This
This
is
is
7 seats,
Okay, let's
yes.
move on very quickly. Let's have a look at the next scenario. This is very interesting.
Yeah.
The average Lok Sabha vote share since 1996, as I told you, is 25% for the BJP.
Yeah.
The vote share in 2014, look at the jump.
Yeah. 31.3.
6.3% was the gain.
Yeah.
Now, as I told you, for every 1% gain, they picked 7 seats.
Yeah.
What does that mean? The total could be around 237
237.
for the BJP.
Yeah.
A lot of people are saying that it's a very realistic number. Very realistic number. We don't know.
Yeah.
As I said, we still haven't spoken to you and we haven't put out your opinion. Let's go to the next. Let's go to the next. Look at this, viewers. This is very interesting also. Assembly vote share since 2014, 15 states.
Yeah.
Is 34%.
Yeah.
The vote share in 2014 was 31.3%.
Yeah.
So it has actually gained over the last 5 years as a party. Is it because it is contested
Yeah.
far more seats? It is now present in far more states.
Yeah.
Therefore, the footprint is increasing. Is that only reason?
Footprint as well as a social base with which it challenges its opponents.
Okay.
In general, the default vote of the party has gone up.
So there it is. If this gain is 2.82%, and if that holds,
Yeah.
if this vote share holds for the BJP, it makes a gain of 2.87
Yeah.
or 82. You just multiply that into 7,
Yeah.
it gets about 15, 16 more seats over what it won last time, and that number is 301.
We need to give a caveat here.
Yeah.
The fact that this assumes the same opponent configuration as 2014.
Right, which is not the case.
Yeah,
Which
yeah,
is not the case. This time, the index of opposition unity is far higher.
Yeah.
But is this the number? Is this really
This-
what the
this
Prime
is the
Minister is
aspirational
thinking is
number,
going to
and
happen?
this
that he is
would have
going
been
to
the dream.
retain the
Absolutely.
numbers
Yeah.
of the BJP over the last
Yeah.
5 years in
Yeah.
vote share terms,
Yeah.
and that's what is making him think that we are going to be 300 par, is
Yeah.
par. We don't know, viewers, but we can take it to some of our analysts and some of our guests. Dr. Acharya, I want to begin with you first. This is really
This is the
a
aspirational
very
number, sir.
optimistic
300.
aspirational number. Do you think that's going to happen?
It
5
is-
years of anti-incumbency
It's definitely going to happen, and it is very much possible.
in the
See,
face of a united opposition?
there is no united opposition. You tell
No
me
united
they could
opposition.
they could not project any alternative.
No, I've heard
person.
you use the word Mahamilawat, which the
Yes,
Prime
it is
Minister.
Mahamilawat.
So you're saying
Where
opportunist?
is the alternative?
Convenience?
And that is the fact which is working in favor of Narendra Modi. And you are giving 301, take it from me, we are going to cross 310. In the sense, BJP is going to cross 310. The excess of 2.82% vote difference, you are giving 7 seats per percentage hike, and it is not going to be 7%, it may be higher than
Oh,
that.
higher than that.
Exactly, when
Okay.
on ground things are working out.
So he was speaking about salt and tea. If you are here on the 23rd, if you don't get 310, will you publicly have a cup of tea with salt? And if you do, I will have it.
Oh,
Okay?
wow.
Done.
How about a deal on air?
Done.
A deal
Okay?
on air.
Done.
Okay,
I'm
deal.
ready for
310
that.
seats.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready for that.
At least he didn't use the metaphor, I'm going to sort my boots. Huh? Eat my,
See, Rahul, Rahul, what is exactly happening in UP? Let me tell you 1 or 2 points.
Yeah.
In UP, what is happening? Yes,
Salty tea is okay.
Yeah,
It's
done. It's done.
You got to up your game.
No,
Yeah, that's true.
No,
Actually,
it's fine. I accepted the challenge.
That's not
Rahul,
your-
I accepted the challenge.
But that's come on. Chai pe charcha will still happen. Whether it's got salt.
It depends on how much salt I put, though.
How much salt? Yes. Unbearable
I won't
amount
just put one spoon.
You'll have to rub that into your
Yeah.
nose.
When you go to the Kashmiri mountains,
Yeah.
they have a lot of kava with salt
That's
sometimes.
true.
So
That is
we
true.
can have that.
Let me bring in. Let's just.
Rahul, one quick point I'll make. In UP,
Look, we haven't finished. There are still 2 scenarios.
Yeah, okay.
So hold your horses.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, hold your horses. But let me just bring in Sudarshan and Abdul Razak. Abdul Razak, Dr. Achari says there's nothing called opposition unity in the state of Karnataka, JDS Congress. The chief minister is constantly crying into his handkerchief saying that look at the Congress, they are betraying me, and apparently he never even went out to campaign beyond his own bastions. So this big talk of opposition unity is really someone trying to justify, as the Prime Minister says, a Mahamilavat. Your response?
Rahul, more than our surveys and our interactions, BJP's inner surveys have projected some different scores, wherein Ram Madhav was very clear in saying that their party will not be in a position to form their government on their own. Later, when Rajnath Singh ji was asked as to what would be the numbers, he just shied away from predicting. And then later Nitin Gadkari ji also said, that BJP may not be, but as NDA we would be able to comfortably cross the majority. That were the statements coming in from the BJP top leaders. Apart from that, if you look at Modi ji's statement, he said pro-incumbency wave. But all the pravaktas, the spokespersons and BJP leaders, nobody was talking about Modi wave. That is the flavor of this election that I'm talking about.
There is no Modi wave
BJP
this time.
Neither had a straight
There is a greater
opponent,
opposition
nor
unity
they had a
and no
straight
Modi wave,
focus.
says-
They did not have a straight agenda.
Says Abdul Razak. Okay, fair enough. Let me bring in Sudarshan on that. Sudarshan, this is one problem, isn't it? Uttar Pradesh,
Rahul.
very strong, on paper at least, alliance, and the chemistry this time, that fabled word, seems to be exuding from all the big platforms where both Mayawati and Akhilesh have shared. So, are you going to be a little more worried, circumspect?
Yeah. Rahul, we have to understand that the BSP polled 0 seats in 2014 and the SP won only their family bastions. For them to have a transcendental increase in their seats would be something dramatic that they have done.
No, but this
that
time
is not apparent on the ground. I was in
word seems to be,
Varanasi
sir,
and certain parts of
transference of
Uttar
votes,
Pradesh.
sir. Votes are transferring. Last time they were contending.
Second,
This time
Mr.
they're
Ram Madhav-
complimenting. That's
No, no,
what people
second-
will say. It might be opportunistic, sir. There's no bar on opportunism in politics. I mean, the BJP has entered into and prospered from very opportunistic alliances. Shahzad,
Absolutely.
why is this such a bad word? So fine, there will be
Alliances.
transference. The BJP will have to face the consequences.
Rahul, I completely respect your point of view, but let me tell you, on the ground, there was no complete transferability of votes. Let's say in Uttar Pradesh, the Yadavs weren't completely transferred to the BSP candidate as votes. That's something we observed. But even if you assume that, this election is not about a mere exercise in arithmetic. In fact, it is an exercise in chemistry, and the pro-incumbency
you've had two
wave of Mr.
examples,
Modi
by-elections in
is
Uttar
so
Pradesh.
strong
Rahul.
that you might actually see
One-
all
one
these
quick point,
calculations
Rahul.
From the
go
general-
out of the
I'll
window.
give a disclaimer on
Perspective you
that.
should
I'll give a
understand.
disclaimer. Guys, Shehzad, let me
Rahul.
do the balancing act now between the by-elections and this.
Between the salt and the sugar.
Rahul,
See, the by-elections did see first
One
a
quick
transference and a consolidation of vote. Okay, there was a good transfer. So that is the plus for the Mahagathbandhan side if you talk of by-elections.
Okay.
The minus for the Mahagathbandhan side, we'll do a proper balancing act now. The minus for the Mahagathbandhan side is that the turnouts were dropping, and deductions show that major of the turnout droppers were BJP voters and not Mahagathbandhan voters.
Yeah.
What we are observing right now is that the turnouts are restoring to their 2014 levels. So again, we'll not get into too much of speculation, but there is a minus as well and a plus as
Okay,
well.
Dr. Raman, now you want to add the salt. Go ahead.
Rahul, I just want to make one point. The way we calculate the BJP numbers is very simple.
Yes.
What is going to be the loss in the Hindi heartland versus what is going to be the gain anywhere if they are going to gain.
Sure.
And that's a very simple exercise. The gains are limited to Bengal and Orissa, and those two, by most consensus, is probably about 10 to 12 seats between the two states.
No, we don't know.
We don't know.
I don't want to sir. The EC you might think is quite sluggish, but when it comes to news channels, it gets quite active. So hang on. I don't want to get into this game. We are not predicting any numbers based on any opinions. We have not talked to any voter. This is just psephological insight from historical data. But I understand what you're saying. You're saying if there is going to be growth,
Rahul,
you presume it is going to come from Odisha and Bengal.
A minimum of 70 seats.
Right.
Where is it going to be made up?
Okay.
They should add also Tamil Nadu. Let him add Tamil Nadu.
That's for the alliance. That's not for the BJP. He's talking about the BJP.
See, last time BJP got only one seat from Tamil Nadu. But this time it is not so. It is going to perform better than what was earlier.
Sudarshan, look, there are two issues here. If there are going to be losses in the heartland, where is the BJP going to make them up? Can they make them up?
If you are expecting Tamil Nadu to save the day,
yes.
God
okay,
help
one
you.
second. Let me bring in
Tamil
Sudarshan.
Nadu
Sudarshan.
is
I want to
extremely
come in.
unlikely to give more than single digits.
See, in South India, Rahul, in Kerala, the BJP has managed to make it a three-cornered fight between the LDF, UDF and the NDA. In Karnataka, I foresee them repeating their performance.
But in the assembly elections, that's what happened. And their numbers went up, but not the seats. The seats, the conversion was... Well, okay, look, there are 2 points of views on this, but I want to quickly go back with Jay to the board, because there are two other scenarios on the BJP that we haven't really looked at right now. Okay, doctor, 1 second. Let's just have a look at these other numbers. This is very interesting.
They are not even in the contest.
Let's have a look at the margin for victory. Let's go and have a look at this scenario 3. Can the BJP cross 272 as the Prime Minister says? Now look at this. This is 2014 data. It's available, widely available for everyone. The winning margin, less than 10% seats were only 73.
Yeah.
10%
Absolutely.
and more were 209.
209.
That just told you the scale really of the BJP's victory.
It was a measure of the wave that was so huge.
It was so huge that 209 of those seats were won on the back of a 10%. And remember, at that time, the index of opposition unity was almost non-existent. Non-existent.
Right.
Now, look at the losing margins. More than 10%, it also lost a significant number, 115.
This is where it was trailing in the third places in states like Odisha and Bengal.
In Odisha and Bengal. This is where, according to Dr. Achari, maybe even Dr. Sumansi Raman, the BJP is eyeing some opposite opportunities.
So here is where is like a blue sky opportunity for the BJP.
Blue
it will
sky.
see
Stars
over there.
Small number, Rahul.
Not
more than 10 to 12 between Bengal and Orissa.
Yeah, I understand that.
Over.
Of course,
Over
the BJP says that it's running away with the contest there, so we don't know. But nonetheless, less than 10%, only 31 seats. They lost. Now, if you translate all of this, look at this. This is the issue. This is what we really need to look at. Vote share drop. Vote share dropped between 2014 and its Lok Sabha average viewers. So all the elections, the Lok Sabha elections, it is contested up till 2014 and its 2014 average. This is it. It's 6.3%.
Absolutely.
And that gives you a number. If you look at the seats that were lost,
22.
That were lost by 6.3%. 22.
The fact that this takes into account, Rahul, is that entire wave number, more than 10% margin, built some sort of a fortress for the BJP, which was difficult to breach. Therefore, even with this drop of 6.3%, it's just 22
Some
seats.
people say that could be the effect of the Mahagathbandhan in
How
Uttar
many of them
Pradesh.
were Uttar Pradesh?
Very much.
That could be.
More than that, when Mr. Modi says, I have 22 crores of an outreach through my schemes, so he's saying that 10% lead I'm trying to consolidate. If the consolidation holds, then this holds.
Okay, then this holds. So it's 260. If it doesn't hold, then it's 260 viewers. That's what the historic data says, not us. Let's go to the next, the last plate that we need to fire. Here it is. Here is very, very simply the 34.12 vote share rise on the assembly average. Remember, I told you that in the last Lok Sabha elections, the BJP had 31.3%. Over the last 5 years, if you take all the averages from all the Vidhan Sabha assembly elections, its vote share was up to 34.3. That's a difference in positive gain of 2.82%. You multiply that into 7, you add that number to 282, it comes to 11 and 293. So even the best case scenario puts the BJP short, much over, of course, the halfway.
Yeah,
but short
fairly
of the
close to
300
but again,
mark.
this takes the opposition landscape, the IOU of 2014.
Remember, viewers, this is not exit poll, this is not opinion poll, this is all data available to you on your desktops. You can go back, you can do the maths. We've just done some maths. We leave it at that. Thank you for watching. The best case scenario for the Congress, the best case scenario for the BJP out for you. Stay with us. Remember, at 6:30 tomorrow, Sunday, you have a date with Times Now. We're going to get you the absolute numbers, the numbers that you have projected. Thank you very much for watching.